Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, global population. How are you all doing? I'm just going to take a quick break from masks and vaccines and whatnot to touch on something else I've touched on before. Many of you will already know my stance on a certain one-lettered phenomena, but I think it needs kind of addressing again and maybe clarifying a little bit. Because I'm still getting people asking me about this and saying, why don't you believe it and whatnot, and I direct them to my other video and they still don't understand. So, like I said, this is a little bit of a recap and a rehash and a slightly deeper explanation of why. So this is basically Q2, once more refilling. Okay. So before I start, I thought I'd give you some background, a bit on me, and then we'll go into the lengthy and sordid history of the QAnon movement. Just shy of 30 years now I've been researching religions and history, and then subsequently from that, let's say the establishment and the stuff behind the curtain and what makes it tick. And like a lot of you, I got sucked in by the whole QAnon thing until certain things transpired and woke me up in a big way because of two people that I knew a great deal about. I knew that they weren't on the level, and they were still being endorsed by Q and Q both. And that was Corey Good and David Wilcock. I've already gone into why they're not on the level and why the secret space program that they sort of peddle the story, the narrative behind that is just absolute bull. It's just bullshit. Anyway, this put me on a lengthy journey with the Q movement and where did it come from and what started it and everything else. Its actual genesis, or the furthest I could track it back, was to a gentleman that goes by the handle of Microchip. Now this guy's been around for a very long time. Very, very long time. He doesn't do Q posts anymore, or Q deciphers, different cipher streams or Q related videos anymore, for a specific reason I'll get to in a minute. But he started off as, he was basically an ex-hacker, a very good one apparently, and also a genius ARG creator. And they were augmented reality games, which are basically internet sort of stories that have some semblance of reality to them and are interlaced with puzzles and ciphers and videos with meanings within meanings that you have to work stuff out with, and they're really interesting. One of the best ones ever made, because Cicada is still one of the, I think it's still unsolved to this day, and the mastermind behind that was Microchip. Now, after Trump was elected and the Clinton emails were put on the WikiLeaks website freely for anyone to see, there's thousands of them, thousands and thousands of them, he saw an idea for a good story. So he went on 4chan and he began, now this is pure speculation, but I think I've pretty much nailed it. he sort of saw an opportunity, began to develop an ARG around these Clinton emails using ciphers and logic puzzles to draw people in, and they find out little bits of information, conspiracy information, because it was a good game to get in. Now, this worked for a time, and he was doing quite well with it. People were taking the bait, enjoying the game, but then all of a sudden it exploded and he lost control. Now it's at this point where I think he did this on purpose. Whilst setting up a live stream for a Q deciphering live stream, he accidentally filmed himself setting the whole thing up, using the trip codes, inputting the trip codes, inputting the post to 4chan with all the passwords. Now a few eagle-eyed people caught onto this and sort of took it over, took it off his hands, and the microchip stopped. Like I said, I think he did it on purpose. He lost all control of it, wanted it off his hands, and boom, a few key players took it over. For about a month there was very funny contradicting posts left, right and centre, none of it making sense, and the whole Q thing was looking like it was going to fall under and just die off. And this was due to the fact that the people that hijacked it all hijacked it for themselves. I suddenly realised after about a month or so they need to collaborate if they were going to do anything with it or make any money, which is what they've done. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've made from this. These people were, the two main ones that are still there now are Paramedic, and a guy called Pamphlet, who are the two most prominent Q content makers. They created an app, it's $99, and monetized the hell out of all the live streams and the videos because they could. Paramedic, especially, seeing as he's also got a ministry as well, he started funneling all the funds from his Q related content through his religious practices as a tax break. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Now this went untouched for a while until after a couple of years of them moving it to 8chan and monetising the hell out of it and making hundreds of thousands, it got the attention of Alex Jones, who ended up employing a guy who was looking into the whole thing called Jerome Corsi, who was previously blackballed from any kind of journalism in America due to his Mossad ties and his sweetening stories for the Israeli intelligence. Unbeknownst to Alex Jones, Corsi, with these considerable ties, had found out who they were and begun to blackmail them, I believe, to expose them and likely dob them into the IRS, especially Paramedic, unless he got him in. So in went Corsi, and he started going on Alex Jones and making lots and lots of money with Alex Jones. In the meantime, we had panic from Alan Dershowitz and Epstein and everyone else, because all this Clinton and email stuff was coming out, and this Q guy was really worrying, and loads of people were looking at him all of a sudden. So along with badgering and harassing all the witnesses, his main attack dog, Alan Dershowitz's main attack dog, who is Mike Cernovich, suddenly started appearing on Alex Jones as well, going on about the Q movement, and also infiltrated it. So we have two players, one of them with intelligence contacts, another one with law contacts and also access to the White House because of his supposed reporting and punditry for the Trump government, which was Mike Cernovich. Now, this carried on for a little while, and then another person caught wind, figured out who they were through some really, really dubious sort of idiotic things that they did, and ended up figuring out who they were, and that was David Wilcock. All of a sudden he's going around the UFO circuit and everything else, dropping Q names, saying he knows who they are, he keeps getting information from them, he says he's on good terms with them, blah 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 blah, and he got in on the game. And this is where they made the mistake that made me question everything, which was the Q endorsements of David Wilcock, Jordan Sather and Corey Goode, and all but confirming the validity of Corey Goode's SSP story, which is just ridiculous. I've already gone into why that is on the other video. So, a couple of years down the line, again, they're all making a lot of money, and all of a sudden, things go a bit awry with one Q obsessive going into, like, doing a mass shooting, and when he was in court, he had Q related sort of slogans and other things on his hands that he showed to the camera. This brought the attention to everyone else. Roughly around the same time, President Trump was seen pointing into the crowd at one of his rallies saying, "What's this?" Right? And they're going, "It's you, Q, it's you." Now Trump, not being the sort of, he's basically a self-promotion and advertising genius in a way, yeah, and never one to sort of pass up an opportunity. Saw a dedicated and guaranteed voter following in the Q movement and wanted in on the game. What did he do? He found out about Praying Medic's little tax evasion sort of thing, and David Wilcock's other spurious activities, Mike Cernovich's problems, John Corse's other little sort of backroom deals and everything else, and espionage in a way, and decided to use the full weight of the intelligence services and tax services that he had. So he sent the IRS after Praying Medic and David Wilcock. He sent the FBI and the NSA after John Corsi and Mike Cernovich, and waited. Around that time, Praying Medic suddenly went on the run and said, "This will be the last post that I will do for a while." Vanished. This was after also that he had a bit of a falling out on a bit of a mad rant on a guy called Bill Mitchell, another Q YouTuber, on his channel, basically firing insults and having a major beef with a guy whose channel's called MAGA Federation, the 1,000 sub channel, basically a nothing channel, but he was a good personal friend of Praying Medic and knew everything about Praying Medic, by the way, right? Dick move, idiot move as well. And all of a sudden the next day there's a Q post basically doxing this guy who runs this tiny little channel. Another red flag to anyone who's thinking, really. Now, as soon as this happened, and all these figures vanished, by the way, around the same time, especially Praying Medic, who, like I said, made that video, "This is the last one, I'm leaving the country for unknown reasons," because he was on the run from the IRS, all of a sudden, boom, gone. And the Q drops mysteriously stopped. And everyone wondered why. It wasn't until I think President Trump eventually got hold of them and began to give them a deal that they couldn't refuse. Basically, they carried on doing what they were doing. They would get a bit more access to airtime and everything else, but Trump would help them out because he'll sort of galvanise the guaranteed votership, if you get what I mean. And as they have proof, as it were, of Q predicting things that Trump would do, it's just the best sort of marketing tool you can ever have. Genius. And all of a sudden, boom, it comes back and there's a surge in viewership all of a sudden. Why is that? Because all of a sudden they're allowed past the algorithms. You see, all this hoo-ha that Trump has with with social media is all a game. The only one he has a real problem with, I think, and who is not really doing as they're told, is Twitter. But then, again, that could just be all a game. So, that brings you up to speed on the whole Q thing. It is a scam. These people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off you. They're basically getting fed information. They've used up their mine of information that was collecting emails. There was 30,000 of them, I think, that WikiLeaks ended up releasing, that they were just taking information from. You see, the idea behind the perfect con is cover a multitude of truths in a smattering of lies. And basically, you can just pull anyone along, which is the first rule of advertising and sales, in a way. Well, yeah, like I was saying, I think that clarifies the Q thing. Those of you who don't believe me, go and look it up. Think about it rationally, and you'll see I'm right. I asked a few questions on the last video, which I know you won't be able to answer. Why is Trump fast-tracking 5G across America when 5G is pretty much known to kill people? Is killing people part of the plan? Why did he lie about killing al-Baghdadi when al-Baghdadi's died 4 or 5 times since 2014? Al-Baghdadi doesn't exist. Again, I'll just reiterate that. Al-Baghdadi doesn't exist. The Pentagon tell you themselves in their own papers on tactics on how to subjugate people, major occupied populaces, using a bogeyman and doing terrorist actions yourselves to blame on the bogeyman. It's that simple. All of this can't be part of the plan. Wake up. Anyway, okay, hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, blah blah. You know what you're doing.